So setting up the 208 planer is pretty straightforward. The tables are cast iron and they're a little bit difficult to manage, but you can certainly take care of this by yourself. There's 3 mounting screws and then 3 set screws down below the tables. The set screws help you control the angle of the tables to make sure that they're perfectly flat with the bed of the planer. Just use a straight edge and feeler gauge to make sure that you're nice and level. Ultimately, you'll want to take a piece of hardwood and just run it in the normal planing direction. Make sure there's nothing to catch that wood on. For cleaning off the light machine oil initially, WD-40 seems to work great. But after the WD-40 has been removed, this CRC product is really good for giving the cast iron surfaces some protection and just to make sure you don't get any rust. And other products that you can add later will help with reducing sliding friction, but this 336 is a good initial treatment to help prevent rust, and then it's something that you can add occasionally to maintain your equipment. The HH designation on the planer model number indicates that it has a helical head. We threw it on a ShopFox mobile base, and this one's pretty sturdy. It's rated for 1,200 pounds. And I think this planer weighs in about 750 pounds with the cast iron extension tables. So this planer head actually uses Bird brand cutters. The head itself may not be manufactured by Bird, but it does use the Bird tooling shelix cutter heads. 15 by 15 by 2 I think are the dimensions on those. It is amazing how quiet this JP20 runs with a helical head. Now if you're used to either a small universal motor on your planer or a planer with straight knives, you will be amazed how much quieter this machine is than a typical piece of machinery that you would run in the wood shop. There's workpiece return rollers across the top. I don't know how functional those are, but it's nice to have a place to set the lumber. I don't think it really matters that they're rollers, but the infeed and outfeed tables on this are really a benefit because they're so long and they just offer really good support. If you were going to plane a 7 or 8 foot long board, you really wouldn't worry about outfeed support. It's that good. And the shorter length 4 and 5 foot boards, as they exit the planer, they don't even fall out. They just kind of catch on the lip of the planer. And the other thing these long tables do is really to help prevent snipe. The dust collection, the way it comes off, I think in the end is pretty good. It comes off straight, and it's actually a 5-inch port. Initially, that will seem like an annoyance to you because I'm guessing you don't have a 5-inch port or blast gate in your shop, and I did have to switch over. I had 4 and 6-inch lines, but this planer actually requires a 5-inch line, and it does need that for adequate dust collection. You could get by with a reducer to a 4, but really to pull chips and not have the debris and dust coming out of the machine, you'll want that 5-inch line. I installed a Wixie remote digital readout right from the get-go because the factory scale on this machine is not very good. You'll want something that's more accurate and more reliable, and the Wixie gauge certainly provides that. So this machine is fairly new to my shop. I wanted to test it out and see how it did with some wider panels. These are kind of intermediate panels, a little too wide to do with a benchtop planer, but certainly well within the capacity of this large 20-inch unit. And the cut quality was really quite good. Unless there was some open knots or really ratty lumber that was second grade, we found that even with quarter sawn white oak, there was little to no tear out, very clean cuts, and snipe was just non-existent after some basic adjustments to the bed rollers. I also ran some wider panels through. This is a 17.5-inch panel on the first project I've used this planer for. And I was really glad I didn't get a 15 or a 16-inch planer because I immediately needed the capacity of this big unit. With the 5 horsepower motor, there was just absolutely no bogging down. It has plenty of power to turn this wide helical cutter head. All in all, I can definitely recommend this machine if you're looking to upgrade from a benchtop planer, or maybe you already have an industrial wood planer that's a little narrower and you want to just have that extra capacity of a 20-inch machine. This is one to consider. I'll keep you posted if my long-term opinions change on this machine at all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.